4, 3, 2, 1. And hello, everyone. This is the Sons of Bananas Foamcast. This is episode 1. If you've seen or episode 0, I'm not sure if that's been posted yet, but eventually it might. But if you haven't seen that episode, so the whole idea of the podcast is some of us are currently playing Farming Simulator 2019, and we're just gonna play games and talk and just do like a little podcast. So nothing too big and serious, but I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys seen the episode, please go see that whenever it gets posted. Otherwise, this is our first official episode, and along with us, if anyone wants to go down the list and say our names.
Hi, I'm Grim.
What list?
Me,
Discord
Blake,
list.
Blake, you were first.
Blake.
Okay, yeah, fine. Hi, I'm Blake.
I'm Abe.
Just
Now it's
okay.
Grims.
Hi, I'm Grim.
Wait, how am I first on an alphabetical list and Abe is
Because
yeah,
he's
okay,
game
that's-
player
that's
A.
Game player Abe.
Mhm.
Forget
That's
my
that's
full name.
stupid.
Is the Australian
Stupid.
alphabet different?
Hey, Grim.
Hi.
Hey, okay.
For
well,
the third time?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Grim.
Hey, I'm Lone. I'm Ray.
I can't see who's next.
You.
it's you.
Hi.
You.
Hi, I'm two.
And I am Trace. So this is all of us. We've had a great start here for first official episode.
Very
Wait,
professional.
Yeah.
So let's
Hang
just
on.
get into a topic
If
here.
you look at the Discord, Trace should actually be before me.
I know, but I'm the host.
But he introduced himself
He's the
first.
I know.
moderator.
I know.
I'm wrapping everyone together, okay? All right. So let's go ahead. So we are recording this in the beginning of January, but I think a very good topic that I want to get into here is, of course, Game of the Year for 2020, right? We've had about a week after the year to kind of think and process like what are our favorite games. And we had some pretty big hits. Does anyone want to go first?
First
Anyone
off,
have any strong opinions?
it was rigged. For the actual game
Officially, the game of
Yeah.
the year for the Game Awards. Yes.
The Game Awards was a little bit not satisfying.
Well, I'm
Just
not
because-
saying not Game Awards. I'm just saying what are your personal ones. We all know Game Awards doesn't count, right? It doesn't matter. But do personal ones. What do you believe?
I don't.
And there really was a lot of good games this year.
Yeah. I don't know. Phasmophobia, didn't it come out this year or 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came
Yeah.
out this year.
That's been a pretty good game. It got old kind of fast, but it was still pretty fun. Wow.
Pretty sure if new people got in on it, they'd still enjoy it. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not at its max, but it could also. It also now needs to hit the cycle of gifting the people that have played.
What do
Well,
you mean gifting?
Well, like it's been a while, so now we have to either do content updates or the game's just gonna die out because there's like.
Oh yeah,
nothing
well he
interesting.
hired people.
And yeah, he's doing stuff. Obviously, there was a new map I heard, so yeah, it's doing pretty good still.
was that the prison map?
Yes. I haven't went on the Tillo board lately to see what's going on with it.
Well, the last two updates, he's reverted for the optimization issues.
Which I
So-
mean, yeah, that's something that needs to be done. I mean, you have somebody work on that while somebody else works on a map or something.
Yeah, it's nice that he's actually working on it as he's doing it. Instead of releasing the update, the game becomes unplayable and he loses people to it.
The
So-
other games I'm thinking about, like, I played a lot. Like, I played Animal Crossing, I played Doom Eternal, I played Hades, I played Factorio came out this year, and it's been a while since we played that. But honestly, I haven't played the new Factorio. Has anyone played the new Factorio?
It came out of
out this
beta.
year?
It came out of beta.
It came out of
Oh,
beta.
I don't
so
think that counts.
Officially released this year, but yeah, well, there was new content. Has anyone played?
Yeah,
the
they
new
did add
content?
new content.
Yeah, I haven't played
Like,
it
you
since
don't
they
just
added that.
say you're out of beta with no new content. That just seems weird.
You're just saying beta forever.
Few games though, permanently in beta.
There-
Nope.
Also, some other games like exclusives on consoles, like Ghost of Tsushima and other games that.
Please don't
again, I
talk
can't
about
think of them.
consoles.
Why?
Oh, I can't use my consoles. My account got hacked, and I don't have my password. And apparently, to get your account unhacked again, to get your password back, you have to give them the serial number of your first console. I don't have my first console anymore.
I do remember hearing about this. That's Jesus.
Which
I had that
console is
happen to
this?
me, but
PlayStation.
Came out this year.
Huh.
Boy, I'd be in
revive it
trouble. I
this
can't
year.
even. I don't. Yeah, I don't remember.
Wait,
You
got
might
rid
want
of
to
it
change your
because I got
password to
my-
something you know.
wait. So are they talking about the first console, like
The
Sony?
first console that you had that had that account attached to it.
Oh, okay. I said because like my PS1 didn't have that attached to it.
Yeah.
Is that even?
Mine was
Did we even
my
have that back then?
PS3. It was my PS3 that had my account attached to it, and that broke, and I had to send it into them for repair. Well, they don't send you the same one back.
What?
That
They
sounds
just
stupid.
send you a
need to talk
different
to
one.
like customer support.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's insane. Actually,
Definitely something that's not
It's
That's
been
not
a
a
year.
yeah, that's
The
not a
whole
normal
meant to be
2020
done that way.
The whole 2020, I have not played any console games because I prefer the PlayStation over Xbox. Because
Can you just recreate
an account at
this point?
I have so many games I bought that are digital.
Hmm.
I think it's probably over $2,000 worth of games.
Ugh.
That's one downside to having digital games. Is Nintendo Switch is the same way, as far as
Yeah.
digital
Yeah.
games. Oh, I mean, that's really any other console.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I have a lot of movies on Prime. If that ever, for some weird reason, if Amazon decides to kick the bucket, I'm just out.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
we were talking about Games of
Amazon's.
the Year awards, weren't we?
We were talking about our personal favorite games because
Yeah.
Game of the Year awards is it's also always preferential. What's your favorite game? It doesn't have to be everyone's favorite game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
my
saying.
Game of the Year is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, right. That one also came out. It's really good, I
Yeah.
heard.
I still need to do that game.
I
All-
love
need to do
that.
all
I'm
the
asking
Assassin's
you,
Creed.
What is your favorite one that came out this time period? Right. Doesn't have to be big blockbuster like how we're doing Game Worlds. Just a small, like it could be a small little game. But what is your personal favorite one? So
I just said that.
Right,
Said
right. I'm
Valhalla,
saying-
and now
I'm-
I can
I'm
only
just
think of the
saying
song.
for everyone.
Oh,
So
you want to know
Jim,
something that I
take
found
2012
very
again.
annoying about that? Sorry, really quick about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I can't pronounce it now.
Assassin's Creed Van Halen.
ACV.
Anyways, well, I can't. It's what they call the Bifrost Bridge. They call it the Bifrost.
That is
What?
annoying.
They
What?
pronounce it that way?
Yes, I'm
That's
like,
so
wrong.
what?
Are they
Yeah,
high?
I'm like, what? The Bifrost? Did I hear that right?
Frost.
Why? Why would you do a
Well,
does
it
not-
depends. They may be pronouncing it correctly in the Nordic language of the time,
Hmm.
and the
Do you
Bifrost.
speak
has
Old
just
Norse?
been-
How
Yeah.
many people you know speak Old Norse?
Don't. I don't, but in those Scandinavian languages, that may be the correct pronunciation.
This is Valhalla, right? So there's a
Yes.
lot of English people in it too.
Yes.
Shit.
And they all say the Bifrost. Can we
I mean-
just say how annoying that is?
Exactly or not, I'm pretty sure.
It makes Thor coming back to Earth funnier. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, I'll put it this way. The reason it was annoying is they still spell it the Bifrost.
Hmm.
Because I always play the subtitles on, and it's still spelled Bifrost, but they call it the Bifrost.
So, are they? Is it just the accent that it sounds like
No,
that, or is it?
No. Because there's even the characters that don't have an accent. They have a British accent. Say it like that.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Oh,
Alright,
back
who's
to the
next
main
to
topic.
talk about it?
Yeah.
In all honesty, my personal favorite, I think, would probably have to be something like Among Us, because
Yeah.
games like that just
That
came
didn't-
out at the exact right time for the
Well, it's
situation that everyone was
Didn't
in.
that come out
It
4
did.
years ago?
It didn't
It
come out
did,
this
but
year.
it didn't really gain popularity until
This year, that's why it was allowed
This
to be
year.
nominated for some stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'll allow anything that either became popular or it like actually came out this year. Either of those are fine.
And especially for
Sorry,
like
unrelated.
an
Ray,
indie
I might need
developer
some
game.
help.
I saw that.
Like if it was a AAA game that just got revised, I'm pretty sure people wouldn't like the company isn't gonna be like, well, guess we better start making stuff for this game that we haven't played in a while or haven't done anything in a while. Like these guys just made a game and it got popular and they decided to, okay, we're gonna help people keep enjoying it.
I haven't played the new map yet.
No,
It
map doesn't
hasn't
come
come
out till
out
like
yet. It doesn't
yeah,
come out
until
till
Hasn't come-
February.
hasn't
Oh, I
come
thought
out.
they released it already.
Yeah,
if it
because,
did, we would have played it by now.
Would
then
we have?
how
But
did
if you know the lore, you know what kind of map it's gonna be.
Hmm.
We'll
It's
grab
gonna be
a
a
truck.
good map.
okay. So who's
Anyone else have a favorite game?
Oh,
I do, but
I'm,
Are you
I mean,
guys
Paranormal
focused on the-
Activity for me seems to be for one guy and all that stuff is pretty amazing.
Paranormal
to me.
Activity?
That's not it.
Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia. Same thing.
Oh,
I might
Paranormal
agree.
Activity, the video game. I hate you.
mhm.
I didn't do
That was
anything.
unrelated. I didn't hate him because he made fun of me for saying it.
I didn't do anything. Just you driving in the truck apparently made my vehicle flip back over.
Yeah, games I play would be almost did it. I almost did it. Phasmophobia.
It's the same. It is Paranormal
Yeah.
Activity, the game. I'm just telling you.
Like
Yeah,
games I
that's all
haven't
that
played, I would have to do
supernatural
probably,
stuff.
Assassin's Creed.
I've not got any real. I don't. No AAA big games have really appealed to me in a long time. Valhalla, Assassin's Creed, none of that.
I love ever since the first Assassin's Creed. I've played all of them. So even if it turns horrible, I've still played all of them and own all of them.
Like
I'm probably still
Cyberpunk,
gonna
that's been talked
continue.
around about for what, a year now or more?
Uh,
God,
it-
more than
7 years now.
Seven
Tried
years?
6 or 7,
yeah.
yeah.
Whatever. But like here in the last year, it's been pumped up a lot, and I just couldn't care. Couldn't care less.
Well, I was
Well-
caring until it came out of like developers were only letting people show off improved footage. There was tons of bug reports off like the false false article that I saw of it. It was just like there was so many
It got
bad
taken-
signs.
It got taken off the Sony market.
Yeah, and they actually had to offer refunds, which by default they don't do.
Mm-hmm.
That means Sony lost a lot of money. They can make them not happy.
The CDPR lost even more.
Yeah.
What
I
you do?
mean,
Fix the game.
yeah, but it's like I don't feel that sorry for them in the long run.
Fix the game. Pull a No Man's Sky. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to do it. Considering they
Well, I
also
mean-
said that they had issues like this or something similar like this with like The Witcher, I think. But I'm not too sure because I haven't played that game. I didn't know what happened to it.
I played it
All I
But
can
again-
long
say is
after
that
it
if they're
was
gonna
released.
commit to fixing their game, then that's not a problem. But the problem is what you have right now, and that's different from what you're gonna get later.
Hmm. Again, on that front as well, though, the fact that they've been sort of marketing this game for 7 years, the pressure to actually get the game out from the general public probably would have
Well,
been enough that
yeah,
they sort of thought, well,
you hear
And
people
CD
say they
Projekt
got
Red is
7
the
years.
developer, but who's the distributor and money man and all that kind of stuff pushing to get this? Because there's somebody pushing them too. There's somebody going, "Hey, we got to get this out so we can make our money back."
Did you guys hear that some people on the team for CD Projekt Red said they got death threats or something because they wanted to release the game?
It's not surprising.
And I was like,
That's
that was
people get
ridiculous.
Death threats for any reason. It's a
But, like-
weird world we live in.
Yeah, but that was like I have no idea what to say anymore because why are you making death threats for a game? It's a game,
Because people are
and
stupid.
this is what you're gonna get. So who's the real idiot?
There was
Yeah.
too many people that just don't kill. Like there was so many like crazy like fanatics of anything at all. It doesn't
Get
surprise me.
fanatics, but like
No, it doesn't surprise me that
I don't
they
get
got
people that
threats. I
get
don't prove
over the
it, but
top.
I'm saying I'm not surprised.
Not
I
in
mean,
today's
could you
age.
imagine the backlash if someone like Rockstar announced Grand Theft Auto 6?
It turned out like Cyberpunk. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
like they're gonna burn into the ground that place.
Oh God, yeah. But like I saw a funny meme basically saying, what was it? It was something about a certain console has, what was it? A certain console has been going for however many generations, and Grand Theft Auto 5 has been available across, I think, 4 generations of consoles.
Yeah.
Xbox One, and then every Xbox after that, basically.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was available on Xbox 360.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
I played it
Yeah,
on
it's
360,
so-
and then I got it on PC.
Yeah. So every Xbox since then plus what was it, PlayStation 3 or 4? I don't play PlayStation, I don't know.
3.
3.
So yeah, it's still going basically. It's a lot of money grabbing, which I think Tress might wanna.
Well, okay, well, we can get into that. We can get into something like that, but I want to go down the list and go briefly finish up this topic of what is everyone's favorite game.
Yeah, we've been on this for a bit, and I'm
So-
pretty sure people have said their favorite game if they wanted
Blake, Among Us, right?
to. Among Us.
I would have to
Blake.
say something like Among Us. Again, although it would probably be a very, very close battle between Among Us and Phasmophobia.
Okay. Abe?
I don't think I've played it too much. My favorite game, currently for me, right now my favorite game right now has been Risk of Rain 2, because it just feels like a really nice open world shooter, progressive roguelike game that you get to customize how you play, and it's just a good like take your own pace shooter that I haven't seen in a while. But for like the general populace, I think the game that really helped people a lot was Fall Guys, even though I've never played it and I didn't really find it that enjoyable at first.
I'm not
I
saying
really
popular, so I
liked
want to
it.
know what yours is. Oh, yours is Fall Guys?
Mine was Risk of Rain 2, but I would also
Okay.
sneak in Fall Guys there because I'm actually considering playing it now.
Okay.
I just haven't.
Grim Phasmophobia, right?
It's
Double check.
Phasmophobia, and I'd probably say Satisfactory has taken over also.
Ooh, okay.
Get that addictive personality.
Was that
though.
this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, last
Yes,
year.
because
No,
was
not
it
counting
last
these
year?
6
Yeah.
days.
It's been out for over a year.
I just
But
learned
it's
of it.
been it came out of is it no, what is it in now? Is it still in beta? No, it's not in beta, is
It's
it?
still
It's still being worked on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Might
said
have been
update
last year. Might have
3.
been 2019 that it initially
It
came out
was.
then.
It was 2019 summer of.
You said that real weird, Yoda.
You say that. I just spent the last like 3 days building the Lego Yoda. So-
That's Two's favorite game is Lego Yoda.
saw images of that. Wasn't that like a weird Yoda?
What?
What?
Yoda. Like there was I've seen images of this. Or am I seeing
Baby
something?
Yoda?
Maybe.
I also did the child.
That's-
that's
It's Grogu. Get it right.
I haven't watched that far yet, so it's still the child for me.
Spoiler.
Ruined it for him.
Can we go to the next topic, please?
Yeah.
I don't work
Oh,
this
what-
show and don't
We
care
still
about
got-
Star Wars.
Everyone just finished saying their favorite game.
Mine was Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia? Ray?
Phasmophobia, or like I call it, Paranormal Activity, the game.
Okay. Two? What's yours?
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's
Like-
Creed. That's right. I'm sorry. We've been on this topic for a while.
Yeah.
Even though I just started playing it maybe about 2 weeks ago, I have to say Yakuza, Like a Dragon. It's really good. It's my first Yakuza game, but it wants to make me to play the
Yakuza.
entire game. Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I've
It
never
came
heard
out.
of
It came out like a year ago in Japan, but it came out this year to America. So,
Yep.
well, to Western audiences. So, like, just based on that, I think it has to be my favorite game. Even though I do like Among Us, it's a single player game that's actually capturing me. So, that's my game.
I'll have to give a caveat. For what I've seen, I like Among Us, but I think I would like it more with the proximity chat on.
Yeah, there's that mod
Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah. That looks
Oh,
interesting.
I haven't. Yeah. I know
We
you're.
haven't tried that. We need to try that.
Mm-hmm.
I still
There.
haven't played the game. I own it. I've never played it.
It's not a hard game to play, to be honest.
What game
It's
are
a
we
good
talking about?
game. Among Us.
Proximity
Oh,
mod
okay.
for Among Us.
Oh, I've screwed everything in the world up.
No.
No,
I
no,
mean-
no.
Everything in the
yeah,
world.
I got you.
I do like with Among Us that there's other ways to play the game than what they intended.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
Like
that's nice.
I think we were doing hide and seek.
Yeah, you can kind
Yeah,
of
we
make your
did
own.
Yeah,
It
the
does
hide and
have
seek,
a bit of the Minecraft as far as like you can kind of make it your own to a certain extent.
You can make
It's
your own
not
mini
open
game.
world like Minecraft, but it has that same feeling of you can kind of make it your own game.
right.
That makes me think Gmod more Minecraft because it's like
Yeah.
your own character RPG or roleplay, whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good with everyone saying their favorite game. Next.
Yeah, I know. I'm just letting everyone get the last ones in.
See,
Gee.
there's A being feisty again. What we talked about last week.
Bossy Abe.
Bossy Abe. Well, you were wanting to, I can't remember who wanted to get into this topic, but I had the topic of microtransactions in games and how I think a lot of companies are kind of slowly increasing their models and monetary value, not like they're offering more options. Of course, it's not going to be super consumer friendly, but what I'm saying is two things I've noticed from two different games is from Apex and Hearthstone. And I know Abe can agree with me on Hearthstone, but
The model like twice now or something.
so Hearthstone, I'm sure even Ray and Blake know for like Magic, where you typically have to buy codes and stuff like that. However, for Hearthstone, you still have to buy packs and go through that. But Hearthstone, you can't buy out codes. And it's been increasingly pricey. Like the economy of the game is just absurd. And I think it's just awful, like how they keep on doing it, and they changed the reward system, so now you're getting less for more. Now, granted, they actually have gone back on that. They've actually reduced it, but I still think it's really bad. But then Apex Legends, a game I'm starting to play a lot. They sell like lore skins at like a certain price, and the most recent one they sold it at higher than they've ever sold it. And I think microtransactions are kind of getting out of hand for most games. I do think it's a good model of doing like something for free and then slowly
Putting like $1.99 on it, and then
yeah, slowly adding more, but it's getting insane with how much I'm seeing companies just jack up prices for no reason, honestly. Like they just do it for pure greed, which is
I don't really
This.
know when like microtransactions in games started. Like I think it started in mobile games and it's transitioned
Yes,
to
it did.
everything.
yeah.
But like,
yeah.
what was like what time exactly was it when the first mobile game came out that started doing that, or like the first mobile games?
I
'Cause
think
know
it
it's
was.
money.
I think it was probably Facebook games before mobile games.
I never. Well, I don't know how many of us played Facebook games.
I did.
But I do remember those like they're sort of like weird smaller graphics, but they were like
My
games
f-
that were like they offered like small little things, and then people just expanded on that.
So my first like YouTube videos and stuff were a game called Battle Pirates on Facebook, and that was pay to win kind of game. So you pay real money and you get benefits that basically put you ahead of everyone else. Which
Yeah, pay
ahead
to
of,
advance, pay to advance model.
like
Well,
you
the
just
thing is,
increase in like power, or do you like
Just-
somehow get up top of the queue or something?
just getting better.
Yeah, so like in my experience, because I do play some of these mobile games, and I do know, like I'm not gonna say I'm not guilty of being a part of the model because I'm pretty sure we all have at some point or something. And
Of
again,
what?
the I'm like paying for microtransactions. Like,
I've never paid. Never.
yeah, but I'm
Never
saying
played.
not you, but again, everybody specifically. I'm not gonna say everybody has done it or not done it. Again, you can do what you want with your money, but like what I'm saying is like in my experience, the problem that I always hear, or I think it tries to get back to, is the fact that there's people with like either addictions or as children or the vulnerable, let's say.
It comes
the
back to the
gambling.
gambling, yeah.
Yeah, what you and if it's gambling or not, that you have to basically consider, because there are people out there who probably don't have as good self-control as some of us, or who
Well,
probably make bad decisions.
well, that's the thing is that you think about a casino. All
Yeah.
casinos, even ones on Native American land, are required to put out little pamphlets talking about
That's where these games don't do that.
self-help, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, the games don't.
Yeah, these
Right.
mobile games are probably not being categorized in the same fashion, and they probably have to have certain exclusive rules because their model is affecting more people. Because if it is like gambling, you have a wider age range, and you have different content. It's
That's
not
a
going to be
scary
a
thought.
slot.
If anybody here was a parent, that would be a scary thought of its own. Of some young kid thinking that
It's easy to like tell your kid to like spend $5 or $6, or maybe they have an allowance and they just waste it all on that, and they don't know, they don't learn how to handle their money well.
all I
Right.
can think is for me, for these microtransactions, some of this stuff is it's no matter how well intended a game maker is, there's always people behind them that provide the money. And those
Okay.
people are always going to be looking for a way to make as much money from anything as possible. And microtransactions is just the new modern way. Oh, look, we can make more money if we do this, this, and this.
So
What really brought it to attention is the fact that games that aren't free are putting microtransactions
Yeah.
in there. And
for
that's
that-
where the shit really hits the fan, because like that's just like asking for money when
But the
you
games
already
still
gave it.
sell. And I'm sure the microtransactions pay for themselves.
yeah,
That's the
so
I actually saw a model once. Let me just say just real quick. I actually saw a model once for the last Call of Duty game I played, which was I think Black Ops 3, that really heavily started doing microtransactions where you get a skin for your weapon and you just get a box and you roll. And what I saw on the chart was the game sales for the actual games didn't actually compare at all to how much they were making in microtransactions. So that's why they stopped obviously caring, and
Yeah,
they
well,
just
it's like,
put microtransactions into priority overdrive.
well, it's like Disney doesn't make money off of the movie itself; they make money off of the merchandise.
merchandise.
It's a similar kind of strategy that obviously is working, or they wouldn't be doing it still.
So for games like Apex, since it's free, I can understand. They got to make
Yeah.
money somehow, and if you want keep like
Free
updates and
game
stuff.
is no problem, and if it's someone putting work in for a game, then yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, none
no-
of it's illegal, or I don't know how amoral it is. It's just it starts becoming. How much of amoral do you think it is?
I don't.
personally.
I mostly don't mind.
expensive that add things like that. All the new Assassin's Creed, if you want better things, you can literally just pay them, and they can give you the best weapons in the game right off the bat.
Yeah, that can also ruin the experience of a game. Like, okay,
But they
have
get
your
your money, so they
here's
don't
your
care.
OP. Yeah, here's the
Yeah.
OP gear that you need. Now enjoy the game without any of the difficulty.
I will say I did do that one time in Assassin's Creed, and it wasn't actually for something that increased. It made it so that my horse was on fire. And I
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And see,
Those are
stuff like
zombie
that,
horse.
I don't have a real.
99
that's-
cents. So I'm like, sure, take my 99 cents and light my horse on fire.
Where there's that's what we should end.
Yeah. So I have well, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links on my phone since it's a mobile game,
Mhm.
and you can buy cards like card packs to try to get like actual cards and stuff.
Mhm.
And that it starts off like a low price and then it keeps going, and that's how they get you. They, okay, I'm trying to get this one card from this like pool of cards you can get from this pack. So let me
That remind. Go ahead.
let me try to get this one card, and then you just keep going, and it gets more expensive, and it just
That's
adds
how
up.
any card game works, even in real life. And Magic was like that. You know, I need this one card. Let me go to the store and buy these packs of cards.
Right.
Blake, how much have you spent on the game Magic? Though? It's a free game. Blake is a muted man. It's the most muted man.
Too much money.
You have? See, as much as I like Magic, I'm not as serious as Blake, so I never spend. I always just build out of what I have. and I always just play. I don't play. He plays a different style of game. So there is ways to play free games where you can. Like for me, it's just a time killer, right? I'm not really into it or anything.
Again, it depends how dedicated you are to the game.
Yeah.
So
I've already spent all my money on real Magic cards. I don't need to do it in the game.
I'm definitely in Blake's side of this. When I play Hearthstone, I try to, if I like a specific deck, then I always like try to get codes for that deck, which means I mostly will have to just get more packs. Hope I get those codes. If I don't, then I have to disenchant and.
Yeah, that model is just terrible.
Yeah, that's
Because
why I
it's
want
not
to bring
like-
the topic because I'm really hate it.
The problem with Hearthstone is that you don't get any good amount of dust. They don't do nerfs or something, and you don't get any dust after an expansion. You can't make a deck that's useful, or not even fun, but at least can win. Because sometimes you just go on losing streaks, and that's what really kicks you in the butt.
I do have something funny I think you guys will enjoy. So talking about like how like kids and how it's kind of like irresponsible, like how gambling can easily suck in kids and drain their cash and stuff like that.
That's I don't want to.
You guys
think about.
You guys know about like CS:GO skins and how they have monetary value and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and some of that stuff can be. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I was a kid that had some pretty pricey skins. I also was under the age of 18, and I went into a gambling site and gambled away some of those skins, and I lost those skins. Now, granted, I wasn't like, mad about it. I knew going in because I was like 15, 16. Like I knew about it, but it was just so easy for me to access it.
And that's why I say if you could do it at that age, somebody younger than you for sure.
Yeah, remember ever hearing Goots say his daughter was able to access something on their school Wi-Fi, like YouTube, when she wasn't allowed to?
Well, here's the thing about that, and this is a scary thing, especially for school stuff. The kids can outmaneuver teachers and stuff so much as far as technology, it's not even funny. Yeah. They could do stuff, and the teachers would never know because they're so technologically inept.
Yeah.
That it would just...
In my school, to get past the school security, there was literally an add-on you could get for Chrome that was a VPN, and you could go to any website.
So back when I was in school, that's when computers first started to come out. They did have a website blocker, but there was websites you could go to that weren't blocked, and you could use them to bypass. Oh, this is before. Yes.
You guys have just reminded me of something absolutely hilarious.
When Blake went to school, they had to type everything in DOS, and it was all black and green.
Some people are older here than you, Grims.
Hey,
yeah.
San Diego
don't joke about that because
to a certain extent, it was true initially.
True.
Wait.
However, I do remember in the very, very early days of the internet, me and a group of my friends decided, as a joke, to try and figure out how to get a website through the school's internet filter.
It was
just
really
by
easy.
naming it the most ridiculous things, and we were able to do it.
Yeah, blockers back then weren't fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure they're better now.
That leads me another question for Grim. Do you use a computer at work, Grim?
Yes.
Do you use a CAC login?
Not at work.
Login?
I use it for military stuff.
Yeah, that's all your military, but do you use your ID to log in on your keyboard?
Yes, for military stuff only.
Yeah.
Even just on my personal computer, I have to do that.
Well, here's the thing we had where I worked in the Navy is to log in, you have a slot on your keyboard, and your ID card has a chip in it, right?
Mm-hmm. So
you log in and put your PIN in, and as soon as you do that, you're saying, this is me using this computer, right? We used to have guys that would try to go to YouTube, and the DoD is not a big fan of those. At least they weren't on our station.
No, they're still not.
And people would find ways around it. But what's funny is, what's funny is the next day we'd all come in and go to log in, and there'd be a little message as soon as they put their card in and put their PIN in that says, "Call this number."
Mm-hmm.
Because even though you were able to get around it,
they still monitor everything.
It's still monitored, so it sent up a flag to somebody somewhere that went, excuse me. So it just amazed me that guys would do that. Of course, and we also taught them the lesson of don't ever leave your card in your computer because
Yeah.
we changed your backgrounds to the worst images we could find.
Oh, not only that, there's we really or upper ranks will fuck with you a lot.
Yeah, because that's real. I mean, that's here. Why don't you access everything?
Well, you need a PIN number, but
Yeah.
And
Well, if
nowadays,
how long does yours before it locks?
what do you mean? Oh, it's usually a couple minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's when you can change your background.
I had an incident at school where I don't know how, but one of the IT teachers basically left. Oh, we were just messing around with his login for a little bit, and I managed to guess his password.
Hacker.
Oh, Hacker Pro.
So for
Was it
about-
password 123?
No, it wasn't. I can't remember what I was doing, but I think it was something to do with his name that we were discussing something, and I thought, oh well, maybe that might be what it is. Oh shit! Now I have full admin access to the
And you
school's
told
IT
nobody.
network. I told a couple of very close friends, and we were messing around with that for a few terms
Only
until
the
he
close
decided
ones
to
will see.
change.
So you could
But,
tell this is the time when that wasn't like nowadays. They probably change those every few.
Oh, it's set up basically. Yeah, everything nowadays is set up so that you have to change it every 30 days or.
It's annoying because you can't reuse passwords, and
Mhm.
it's like
That's
you have
why
to
he's
try
a
to.
password manager.
Or
you-
a number system.
Can you use that at work?
I don't know if you can use it where you work. I can use it where I work, but it puts like 16 character passwords, and I only have to remember one. And they don't even know my password to my thing. They don't have access to my password.
Yeah. See, they keep that everything.
Yeah, the DoD is a whole different.
Well, no, this is
That's a
my
whole-
work.
Oh, your work.
I mean, I'm sure they have record of my cat pin and all that because they're the ones who I have to set it through.
Yeah. Dad used to do that. Okay, sorry.
Most annoying thing ever.
No problem. Well, I think we're kind of done on the microtransactions because we went to Oli's school pranking.
I
We
will-
never
I
stay
will
on
just add-
subject.
I will just add one thing with regards to the amount of money that I've spent on Magic. I'm a bit of a completionist with regards to things like that, so when a new set or something releases, I try and sort of gather as much as what I can to
Couldn't
do
believe
with-
Blake is a completionist.
Oh,
I couldn't
I
make stuff undone.
Uh-oh. Woof.
So that's why I tend to spend a little bit of money. Like I like to be able to sort of do a little bit of backwards, forwards, sort of working out new decks to play with. And when I'm doing that, if I don't have access to everything, it sort of makes me that little bit sort of edgy, I guess.
I guess
But,
I got a lot of that out of my system when I was younger, is what I've come to realize.
But one of the other things with regards to that as well, like the model that Wizards came up with for Magic, where you don't necessarily have to spend that money, they do give you access to that in-game currency for completing all of these other bits and pieces. So there is that ability for you to actually gain that sort of in-game currency.
Or if you just want to tinker around, you can just monkey around in there, and it's still a fun game. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that it gives you the option, or it, you know.
It's not a requirement to actually be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
actually
Like
do want to. Okay, go ahead.
There's some really, really good, really, really cheap decks to make that will actually give you enough of an ability to progress.
Well, like all those knight cards and vampire cards, a lot of those come from free decks, for me, at least.
Yeah, like there's the balance in the game is really, really good in the respect that you can basically be competitive with a deck that would cost you nothing.
I mean, that's how the Yu-Gi-Oh game is too.
Yeah.
Dress.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing. I was gonna ask my fellow card game enthusiasts. Would you guys, or have you guys played the Riot one? It's something not Legends of Runeterra, something like that. Have you guys seen that card game at all?
Heard of
No.
it.
I have heard. I'm trying to think. But no, there are quite a few now that are sort of entering that.
So I was
That
gonna see if you guys would want to play that, because I want to play it again, because I definitely, because Hearthstone's kind of like grinding on me, and I don't know if you guys needed to seek an alternative game.
I gotta go back to Magic. I stopped playing that for like months on end because I was just like, I don't know, I just felt like okay. But I'm like that. That's just my personality. Is I don't want to say I have like a short attention span, but for games especially, I have like where I feel like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this for a while, and then I'll come back to it months later, and it'd be like a new game to me. So
Isn't
that's
that
just how I am.
kind of how Minecraft is, really?
Yeah.
New content. And...
I'm at a point, now at the moment where I'm seriously considering getting back into paper Magic, which I know is going to be an extremely expensive endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at that point now where I think, like when I first started playing Magic back when I was like 15 or 16, I didn't have the money to basically go out and buy the cards, so it was only an every now and again thing when I did
Go buy packs.
go buy packs and things like that. So I don't even know where those cards that I bought when I was in high school are anymore, but there's a very good chance that I probably had some decent cards in that deck that are probably worth a decent amount of money now, and I have no idea where they are.
Yeah, I had a Black Lotus, so I don't talk about it anymore.
You gave it away. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Didn't know at the time it really wasn't worth anything.
yeah, that's true. I mean, way back in the day, it wasn't. It was because of how rare it got. That's how insane it got in price.
That's how everything works, though. You know, it's like the price, like GPU prices right now. I'm not saying they're going to be not worth anything, but give it a few months when they start producing, meeting need again, and the GPU prices will come down.
Isn't
It's just
Bitcoin going up
supply
again?
and demand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too. That's one of those things that can go up and down, just like the value of a dollar. Same thing.
It's the volatility of like.
The supply and demand market is what causes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of a market, Grims, I know you wanted to talk about speeding traps and speeding tickets being used for small towns. Go ahead and
That's
explain
a
that for us.
weird crossover there with the talking about a market.
I thought it was Roscoe wasn't a take, okay?
Well, it was the only one open to you. I'll give you that.
So I was just thinking about this when I was driving to work that morning. But I don't know if anyone here like traveled like just driving through these small towns and stuff on the highway. Speed limit's like 60, 75, or Texas 85. And then it drops down to like 30 or 35 in these
Speed
small
trap.
towns. Yeah, speed trap. And these small towns use that as revenue because people are they're not going to come fight that when they're in a different state or live somewhere else.
I've seen articles where they talk about ticket revenue and bail revenue and all that are line items in a budget. Like they budget and say that we're going to get this much money, and it's like how do you know that?
Yeah, that's kind of suspicious if they have a certain amount. They have estimates based on
Yeah.
projections that they say, be like,
It's
the last year was like maybe people will a little better, but maybe this year we're expecting more.
It's kind of shady,
Mhm.
and it's
Oh, yeah.
because I don't know. It feels like borderline entrapment.
Oh yeah,
And-
I mean, I think if they have a budget that's placed down, and they're estimating certain ones, I think that's like they're purposely pulling over people.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why. So they don't say that they have quotas, and this is for any police department. They can't actually say that, but they tell them they have to have a certain amount every month.
Yeah, and
so
I can tell
basically
you
they need to have a quota.
that's a quota.
Quota,
Yeah. They
but
just
they
can't
can't-
say those
Yeah,
words
but they
because
just
that's
can't
one of
say
those
it.
buzzwords.
You
Yeah.
just can't say it. That's
Well, I can tell you, in my state at least, state troopers give out tickets, right, on the
Mhm.
interstate mainly.
Yep.
Do you know? And they don't have quotas for sure. State troopers. They don't. In my state, we have 2 per county, which is not enough. But do you know how much money the state troopers make from the tickets they write?
No.
I didn't know they made
10%.
money.
They
So
well, the department, as in make money, as in like what part of that ticket, the trooper that writes it, the trooper department, ALEA as it is here, they get 10%. Most of the rest of that goes to the court and all that kind of stuff.
huh.
So as far as in this state, as far as state level, state trooper level, they don't really have a quota, and they don't really. And to be honest, most state troopers, as long as you're not doing anything stupid, won't write you a speeding ticket unless they're doing a speed trap at the time. Unless they're doing like a mass pullover event thing, you know. And even then, they'd much rather write you a warning because it's less paperwork.
That's true. Yeah. It's really weird though. That they
But
like
most, and here's the difference, at least in our state, most small town cops don't have a lot of training. They're not, you know, it's, I don't know how to put this. They're like Joe Bob down on the corner there. That's a local cop, Billy Bob or whatever you want to say. Especially where me, Trace, and
oh, I
Graham
got
live.
you.
And here especially, like at the front of my house, there was a big argument with some cops and my neighbor. And my neighbor is completely in the right, and the cops are just being assholes just because they can, because they have the power.
Mhm.
But with state troopers, and probably most state, once you get to that level, you have to be a normal cop, and then you have to go, in this state, go to at least another 8 to 16 weeks of training before you can become the next level. So they weed out a lot of that crap. That, you know, this is power play kind of thing. I mean, there's still state troopers that are straight up assholes. That's just everywhere. But they weed a lot of that out. Most states, I think.
game wardens are the same way.
Yeah.
They're-
Game wardens are even rarer here, at least.
Oh, like y'all don't have them, or
We have them. There's not a lot of them.
oh
I mean,
shoot, we have hundreds here.
can we borrow some?
Uh,
Because we have 2 state troopers and like maybe 1 game warden for 3 counties. So, like, the rule is if you get in a wreck and you're on an interstate or a federal highway, you just better sit back and wait, because it's going to be at least an hour and a half wait if he's on the other side of the county.
So in Texas, there are 493 game wardens.
Texas is a big ass state, though.
It is.
How much
true.
of the state does that cover?
I have no idea. Hold on. Let's see, Alabama. Alabama.
That's
There's 125 in
mhm.
Alabama.
It's probably at least 3 per
I wonder
county.
how many counties is there in Alabama?
3, 4, maybe 5.
Ask-
Maybe you guys are gonna be shifts
Probably-
too. As they
It's probably about
Yeah.
it's probably about 2 to 3 per city,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not a lot.
may-
I mean,
may-
basically, you can get away with a lot of shit before a game warden will find you here. No, because I've heard.
I actually haven't been pulled over for a ticket yet, which is good. I do slightly go over like on the interstate, like just a bit, but I haven't had any issues with any cops yet, which is good.
I will say, be as polite as you possibly can.
Oh, I know. I already have like a whole like spiel like of like, yes, officer, I'll be very good today, officer, stuff like that.
So
The
I'll
one
tell
thing
you.
that I've found the couple of times that I've actually been pulled over for minor infringements, like between 5 and 10 over the speed limit,
Naughty.
the best and this has actually gotten me out of a couple of tickets, was just being completely honest.
You show them your
Like-
junk. What?
I like the first time I did it, I got pulled up and like, yeah, look, I'm sorry, my fault. I basically wasn't paying attention, looked down, and I was probably over. Like when they ask how fast were you going, it's like I have no, I know that I was probably 5 or 10 k's over. I'm sorry. It was just an
Never
honest
admit
mistake.
is the thing I learned. Don't tell them exactly how fast you were going.
Well, that's just it. I never tell them exactly how much, but just like, yeah, I know
Yeah,
I
you're
was
probably
over.
right, but I'm not sure.
The couple of times that I've done that, it's more just a case of, well, okay, I understand. You know that you're in the wrong. Don't do it again. I'm going to give you a warning this time. And that's been the end of it.
Oh, there's a lot of other things you can do to kind of let the cop know without actually like saying anything that you're not, or you're trying to
But
make
again,
his
it
job
might-
easier, basically.
Yeah.
Like
But
turning
again,
on
it
your
might
dome
be
light.
entirely different over there.
If it's
And you
next
gotta
one,
remember, it all depends on the cop you catch.
that's true.
Oh, yeah.
If he's in a bad
Guy that
mood,
just went through a divorce or something, he ain't gonna give you no damn break.
Quick question. Do you guys actually have, like, the unmanned mobile speed cameras and things like that over there?
Certain
state's
cities
different.
do.
Because we've got them all over the place over here.
so
Here we don't, at least in this play area, we don't have a lot of like just the only cameras we have are red light cameras generally, but like speed cameras are generally in an empty car. Like they'll have an empty cop car that has a speed camera,
Yeah,
and they don't count
they will
towards
park a
points on
car.
your license here.
Oh,
Like you can,
that is like they basically pin you for everything on those, because there's little to no margin of error on those things. It's more a case of, yeah, you were doing that. You have been photographed doing that. Here is your license plate. This is your car.
I think
so
here it's more of a legal issue if there's no cop there, no cop physically there, so you can't like hit points on license or something.
well that and
I
you have to be able
always
to you have the right to face your accuser,
Yeah.
and with the traffic light you can't do that. But here in Texas, they tried to do them and they did have them out, but they were causing so many accidents from people just slamming on their brakes and stuff because they didn't want to run it and get a ticket, that they actually just removed them.
I think they found out that that's true for most of those in most places.
They're
That
probably,
they actually cause issues more than they fix.
they probably started shooting them.
Yeah, in Texas for sure.
I'm sure that happened.
I mean, Alabama for sure too, but they wouldn't even let them get to that point. I know, like England is one of those places that has 10 tons of those kind of speed cameras,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Japan's another one that has a bunch.
Has anyone here gotten a speeding ticket?
Yes.
Yes.
How
That's what I was
many?
going to
How
ask.
many-
I'm choking on how many again.
How many times?
So
Twice. I've got twice.
So I've had 2 warnings and then 1 ticket. And the 1 ticket was because he was on a motorcycle and he couldn't actually look up my driving record. Is my theory on it.
I've had 1 warning and 2 tickets. And one of those tickets was, and I don't know if Grim's experienced this or not, or everybody else. I was on the way, this is when I was in the Navy, so me and another guy were in uniform. We happened to live in this apartment complex. And we were on this busy highway. And these cops, out of all these cars, like 4-lane highway, they just happened to pull over the 2 people in uniform
Mm-hmm.
out of all these people. And it was a bunch. It was local cops.
Yeah, I was told about the cops here. If you're in military, you don't. Yeah, they go after you here.
That's
Yeah,
because
they know you'll pay your ticket.
well, that
It's not-
and
it's not that.
y'all, we probably piss them off the most.
We
Yeah,
gotta remember, all the fresh Marines come here too. So
Yeah, but yeah, remember this is we don't piss them off. You know, that was I guarantee the only reason they pulled us off is because they were told if you could get military, they'll pay their ticket. We'll guarantee that income. I mean, other people don't necessarily pay their ticket, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't,
Probably costs them more to actually chase it all up than it does to actually.
yeah,
Right,
if you give
yeah.
it to somebody like us, our command will make sure we pay our ticket. We'll make sure we pay our ticket so we don't get captain massed or court-martialed for something stupid. So, it just, and then the other time, well, I didn't get a ticket for that time. I used to drive, and nobody might know that, a Hyundai S Coupe, which is like the earliest piece of shit two-door. I was in high school. And it's the lightest car in the world, right? So it was a windy day, and I was going to my sister's house, and apparently the wind was blowing me around a bit on this 2-lane road, and I was fighting it. Somebody called the cops and said I was driving erratically. So I get to my sister's house, and they're like, "Are you drunk? And it's like freaking noon. I'm like, "No, I'm not drunk."
Yet.
And I went through all this whole thing, and eventually they finally left. Let's put it this way. I'm glad they didn't search my car. I wasn't drunk, and I hadn't done anything yet. But I did have a giant bag of weed under the passenger seat. I was the most nervous I could have had. You could have like got gallons of sweat off of me after that. But yeah, that was the only time. But yeah, it was a lot of you're driving like a great man. And like I said, I've not done anything at this point, and I'm like, who's saying I'm driving like a madman? A little bit of wind was blowing me. I don't know if you've ever driven a really small car.
Yep.
It's
that's
real
me.
bad in the wind, or when a semi comes by you, or
I drive a Kia, so yes.
yeah. So,
I've not driven a small car like that, but I've been on receiving end when the water was really high. Like it's not like it was like semi flooding because it was coming up to my knees.
mhm.
There was a little bit of a truck passing by as me and my dad because our car got flooded, so we were pushing it across to some highland, and a huge truck came by that was like super suspended, and it just like almost brought the water up to our chests, like when we were pushing on coal. But that's awful. But that's like the closest I've gotten. But yeah,
I have had 3 warnings.
no tickets.
Like such a nice guy that he don't ever.
I
get
have been very, very lucky.
What were your warnings?
Overspeed.
Oh, all on speed. Okay.
Yeah.
Too fast on the train.
Yeah, I've never got any other type of ticket. Mine's always speed. Can't you get a ticket
Mine-
if you drive a train? Isn't there tickets for that?
We don't
Or write-ups or
tickets,
I know
but
there's
they
speed limits.
do treat it as. Oh yeah, there's definitely speed limits. It's
Well, you gotta make sure they don't go so fast on the rails, you know. But another thing we can segue into. I don't have a segue for this one, unfortunately. But
I just imagine Tress driving around on a Segway.
Is that company still around? I assume they are.
Yes, they are.
is
A mall
Segway the
cop.
name of the company?
They're the little doohickeys.
Well, I know what a Segway is. I just didn't know that.
That's a name brand. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a name brand.
Okay.
Every mall cop has one. Come on now.
It's like
I knew. I thought that was just what they were called. I didn't know that was the.
it's like
actual-
Velcro or Kleenex or
Yeah,
Kleenex
yeah, I got it now.
or Sharpie. All of those things are name brands that we
Well,
just call because
I don't have a transition to this, but you guys want to talk about movies? We talked a little about games. We can talk about the other side of entertainment, specifically, bad movies. Because I personally like bad movies. I do like The Room. That's my favorite bad movie. I guess I can go ahead and say that now. But does anyone else have any other really awful movies that they love?
It depends on what you qualify as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's funny bad, and then there's just can I get through this before I kill myself bad.
I think we're saying funny bad because
funny bad.
if
Yes,
you have a
definitely funny
favorite-
bad.
if you have like your favorite like awful movie, but you get enjoyment off of it, but if the movie is so bad, like have you guys seen the Sherlock and Holmes one with
Yeah, the
Will
Will
Ferrell.
Ferrell.
Yes.
Oh, I heard
That is-
horrible things.
That is just bad. So that I wouldn't ever put that as my favorite
I'm
bad
trying to
movie.
remember. I've not watched a bad like that kind of bad, like bad movie in a long time.
Well, you can
Thank
also
God.
put it of maybe a good movie, but maybe it's not like it's not gonna ever win an Oscar, but it's like really bad.
Well,
But you love it.
I see. And here's the thing for me. What was the movies? They're that have been panned by critics. There's like The Mummy with Tom Cruise. As much as that wasn't a great movie, I kind of liked that they were trying to expand that universe, and I kind of liked
Yeah.
the storyline to a certain extent. I mean, it wasn't the best story in the world, I'll be honest, but I'm okay if a movie entertains me even a little bit or opens up something like that new to me. I like it, and I don't mind Tom Cruise. He's not terrible. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm swooning over him or anything, but
I don't think I've seen this one. I didn't know he played in a Mummy
the
movie.
new Mummy with Tom Cruise. It's not new. How old is it now? 2-3 years old?
Yeah, it's a couple of years old.
But I happened to catch it recently on some or another channel, and I was like, I haven't seen this. I wonder how this is. Then there was another one with old Vin Diesel, who's a terrible actor, but I don't mind some of his movies.
Oh, now you've read.
Bloodshot.
No, not Bloodshot. What was the Witch Hunter one? He did one where he's a
Oh, yeah.
witch hunter.
The movie about his D&D character.
Is that what that is?
That is literally what that movie is about.
That's hilarious.
Pretty soon we get to talk about him being an Ark.
I guess he'll just do anything for money, which I'm not going to blame the man.
He won't do anything for family. I mean, he won't do anything for money. He'll do anything for family. It's always about the family. Right?
But there's a series of movies that I only watched the first one and was like, that was terrible, and never went back and watched any of them.
And
The
I'm
whole Fast and Furious thing, never got into it.
Huh?
Speaking of which, did you guys know there was a Fast and Furious game that came out this year?
There's a shot.
Didn't know that.
Does it say
Didn't
dude
know
in
that.
it a lot, and we're all family?
That is it is the worst game of the year because it looks like a PS2 game in the early PS2.
Is there a lot of fist bumping?
No. Just look. I implore you to please look it up. It's awful. It's really bad. Actually, here I might be able to search it if someone wants to talk about the.
And actually, the only
favorite
one of those that I did watch that I find was okay was Hobbs and Shaw, and I didn't even realize when I first watched that it was part of that universe. I just like Hobbs and Shaw because it has the superhero thing, and that's my thing.
I will say that I have numerous bad movies that you know how you get those, how they say you have those sort of guilty pleasure movies that you watch even though you know it's horrendous. It's just something that you go back to and think, I watch this because it's bad movies. And I'm probably going to cop a lot of shit for this. But have any of you seen Biodome?
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Shaw?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. How you gonna say
That's
that's
not
bad?
terrible. It's not
Oh.
a good movie. Let's be honest.
Have you watched it in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, you gotta take that lens of nostalgia off of there. I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie. It has its
Oh.
place.
It is horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
But I love it.
yeah. That's one of them good to be bad movies to me.
Yes.
I've never seen it.
That's
I mean,
like
you
for me,
go-
Evil Dead is not a good movie. The story is
Yeah.
terrible and all that, but I love it. Sometimes I'll watch it just to laugh, and it's just that reason right there. I just laugh my ass off at it, and I'm like, there you go.
If people want to, if you guys want to watch that trailer, just real quick, I've linked it.
Do I even? What are you doing to us?
Mine would be like older movies, like Princess Bride. Gotta love those.
Oh god, I don't know. Princess Bride is not a bad movie though, in any
it's
way.
not.
No, Princess Bride is not a bad movie.
That's
No,
not.
it
I guess,
holds
yeah,
up.
That
That's
would be a
not-
bad movie.
That's not a bad movie, right?
You guys remember Crawl?
No,
You remember Crawl?
do I?
No.
If I
The one
saw it,
with
I might
the-
remember. I don't remember the name.
The one-eye guy, the Cyclops, and then they had the kind
X-Men.
of throwing.
Dark Phoenix. Oh, that's the last bad movie I watched. I'm sorry, I just thought of that.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is a terrible movie.
That was the last movie I went. Please be over.
But that's not again not the topic we're on. We're on a good bad movie.
Well, Evil Dead or Crawl for you. What about horror movies that are good, bad? Like that. You guys have one of those that you like watch to get the kick at? You don't watch it for the horror, you get the laughs or the the entertainment some other way. I think Saw, to a weird way, the original Saw makes me laugh a little bit because of how ridiculous it seems
sometimes.
now.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. Yeah, it's that's one of those. Sometimes it's so corny. It just yeah. One
Let's
of
play it.
there was the Escape movie that came out. It was it was like escape. It was an escape room, but it was horror. That one was really bad. It's I wouldn't watch it. It's yeah. Obviously, you guys know what escape rooms are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just it. The escape rooms are already kind of terrifying for like some people. I don't care. I just think they're boring.
So
But the movie just does nothing.
basically, Escape Room is the first Saw movie.
I have to say that's like
Yeah.
didn't they basically get their idea for escape rooms from the Saw movies, or vice versa, or
Well.
one of those came from the other? I feel like.
I'm like,
Maybe minus the giant. place
Chucky's
and
another one of those that I watch to laugh at.
Oh,
Yeah. Remember Chucky?
Jason has a little bit of that. Halloween to me is still a little bit scary. That's still a good scary movie to me. The original Halloween.
As someone who's never watched any of these movies, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But you hate movies, don't you?
I don't hate all movies.
Just most.
It just can't have real people in them.
It can't have real people.
Ooh, what about Little Toaster? That's a really good movie, though.
I love that
Oh,
movie.
The Brave Little Toaster was an amazing
My
movie.
God.
what's the
I
one
will
with the
not
two
hear
dogs and the
anything
cat?
bad about The Brave Little Toaster.
What?
Milo
Oh, no! The two dogs and the cat. That was Homeward Bound. That's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Homeward
no,
Bound. Homeward
Remember that
Bound.
movie?
That was a great movie. They made like sequels of that were terrible, but the original was good.
Oh, also, Ray, may I just say,
Hmm.
I hate you
Wow.
because you mentioned DuckTales.
Ooh.
I watch every single DuckTales because I have Disney Plus and every single one is on there.
Oh, is it?
I
Don't
hate
tell me
did
this.
they
I have
restart
Disney
it?
Plus.
They restarted
Yes.
it.
Yes, they did. They made it's brand new in 2017, and it's a new story. And the art style is not that good.
Well,
It
you gotta go
was-
the older ones.
No, the older ones are way better. The new ones, they don't look like ducks.
Okay, let me ask you this for everybody that watches movies or likes movies. So, like, you can kind of rewatch horror, comedy, even like for me, superhero movies, like the Marvel movies. I watch them about once a year, most of them, except for like Thor: Dark World, because reasons.
What's the
Even
re-
that one I don't hate, or like
That's the
certain
one-
Marvel. As
yeah.
somebody that's a huge Marvel fan, there's certain Marvel movies that I've gone back and watched and went, ooh, like Age of Ultron. I'm like, boy, this is stupid. But it was good at the time. But drama movies, to me, I've got some movies that original like drama movies that I loved initially. But going back and watching them, they don't have the same ring. I don't know if it's the same for you. Like, you can't repeat, you can't put that genie back in the bottle for me for certain types of movies.
Well, I think
I
it
don't
has
know
a
if it's the same for you guys.
it has a different look to it when you already know what's happening, or it's
Yeah.
going to happen. It doesn't have the same
You mean
flavor.
like Sixth Sense? That just ruin that whole movie if you know what's going to happen. I
Also,
won't-
on
just
that
kid-
video that Trace posted,
Mhm.
yes, it really does look like that. And I scroll down, literally the very first comment on YouTube is not. It's nice to see PS2 backwards compatibility coming along.
So, and that's the other part of this. I don't want to take Trace's job from her. Game movies. I know that was talked about too. Movies
That
or
was
games
the
that have
second
become
part of
movies.
this.
Yeah, I was gonna get to
Yeah.
that in a second, but yeah, good transition to that.
The new one
So-
that was coming out. There was a
It
new
did-
one that was coming out.
What movie? What new one?
I heard that there was another game movie coming out that it was like it's getting one of those praises of it's gonna save video games and movies.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Wait, are we talking about?
making a new Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
They are making a new
Oh.
one.
They are.
Are we talking
You know,
positive or?
I
They
don't
all-
hate the first Mortal Kombat, to be honest.
No, I loved all of them.
The
The
second
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat was
was
a little bit cheesy to me. But the first one at least had some kind of story, I felt like.
So are we talking negative or positive?
Either or for game movies. Anybody see World of Warcraft movie?
I have not.
that's probably the worst one in.
Is it? Because I was wondering how much money they spent on that and how much money,
It's not it's all the like Warcraft things of like the. How much you know of Warcraft? Have you? I assume you-
Don't know and/or care about it, so will I hate
Okay.
it?
If you don't know anything about it, then it's fine. But if you know anything
Mhm.
about it, then you'll hate it. that's that's the.
I know just enough to get by. Let's put it that way.
If you know about if you've played it Warcraft, you like the actual
Not
Warcraft,
World, but
not
yeah.
World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
but the old Warcraft games.
Gee,
then you'll-
Warcraft 3?
then you'll be very upset. Even if you played World of Warcraft, you'll be upset. It's not good. But if you don't know anything like my dad did, then it's fine. Just
Yeah.
it won't be outstanding. It'll be okay. But it goes over the first events of the first huge events of that universe.
But that makes me wonder: is there a way, Mortal Kombat excluded, because I don't know how much that actually relied on the game? Is there a way to make a game into a movie, a good movie?
Street Fighter.
The Witcher.
Watching the graphics of the movie, like
The
you know,
Witcher is just show, so
And that's also a book.
yeah,
Yeah, it's also a book.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The book helps. You know,
Well,
most
no.
books turn into movies pretty good.
Yeah,
wanna know
it's,
a bad
it's based off the
I'm gonna go.
movie, not the game. Sorry,
No, go.
that was all. The Witcher's based off the books, not the game.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, the game is based
I'm
off the
gonna
books
go
too, so I mean.
Yeah. I'm gonna go super old school on the worst
Mario.
game. Yes. Super
Yeah.
Mario Bros.
Yeah. Mm. But
There's
it's got
nothing
the most
wrong.
memey material in it, though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
It is a meme.
Oh, so bad. I remember watching that, and that was
You
one of
can
those
still watch
movies
it.
where, when I was at the time I was watching it, I had this thought: "What am I watching?" Like in the middle of watching it, I was just like amazed that I was watching this. This was made. Somebody went, "Yeah, that's good." It's just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it kind of had the. What kind of vibe did it have? You know, it was kind of those movies back in, like Hackers or.
LSD. That's the vibe it had.
I still liked it though.
I like it for the meminess now, but then I was like, boy, this is terrible.
It still is.
It's still terrible, but it's got its own charms in different ways now, I guess, in a different world.
So the thing that actually got me onto this topic and thinking about it, I don't know when or what I was thinking. You know what? It was The Mandalorian. And Ming Na Wen, who played Chun-Li in Street Fighter.
Mm.
She's obviously in The Mandalorian. And there was one line in that movie that just basically made the movie for me. So Street Fighter the movie.
Yeah,
was-
as far as that's, yeah.
Raul Julia in that scene where she's basically explaining how Bison basically ruined her village and things like that. And that line where he goes, I can't remember the exact wording, but the something along the lines of the day, like, it's amazing the day that Bison graced your village had such a lasting impact on your life. But for me, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Like, he was absolutely amazing in that movie. It was a
That is pretty good, I will say.
Yeah. I mean, there's shining moments in some of these, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if in our lifetime we're going to see a game, a game turned into a movie that's actually like encapsulates it.
I can say a game that got turned into a movie, but I've never seen the movies. Does that count?
What's that?
Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider.
There's like the original Angelina Jolie Tomb Raiders.
Yeah,
I didn't think were that bad.
Yeah,
didn't
I
either.
liked them.
I thought they were pretty. I mean, it's a game, so it's a little bit unbelievable, but it's also a game, so you kind of have to do that.
What about the one?
The only complaint I have is her boobs weren't pointy enough for me.
Apparently, there's a rumor that the only reason her boobs were that big is she actually paid to get them bigger for that role.
That's dedication.
There was no. I remember that there was actually some controversy about digitally enhancing Her boobs to the movie.
Ah,
It makes
so-
him look bigger.
What's the game that you
Oh,
play
some
that has the
inflation.
volleyball?
Oh yes, I know what you're
Dead or
talking about.
Alive.
Dead
Was
or
on X-
Alive.
Oh,
They need to make that into a movie.
oh,
That would
did.
be
well, they need,
hilarious.
They already did.
already, they need to make it into something else. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know. I
Um,
don't know if movie is the one I need, but I fucking love that game.
So
I
good.
I played the DS version of it. It's
I think it would be hilarious. I don't know. It depends on who does it.
It already is a movie.
But
It's
yeah, but like make it like a big movie. Like
big,
I don't know. Yeah.
big blockbuster.
You know who they should put in charge of it? The guys that created South Park. Hey, do this. I think it would be even funnier because they would make it funny the whole time.
Does anyone else have any favorite bad movies or?
Hit some of the good ones.
Following on from the Tomb Raider one, the new one with Alicia Vikander,
Mhm.
I thought was actually really good.
I didn't see it, to be honest.
I played the games that it's based off of. I never saw it though.
I honestly have no idea what the Dead Alive one.
No, Tomb Raider. Loom Raider, almost said.
Oh, Tomb Raider. Yeah, I have not seen that.
I haven't seen
I,
those
I was
new
curious
ones.
about the new one if it was like a little bit more realistic, but from what I saw, it didn't seem to
No,
be that.
because it's based off the game it's off of. There's meant to be a bunch of undead, never dying Asian soldiers guarding a tomb on a haunted island that you can never leave.
So when did Tomb Raider the game come out?
The one that
Which one?
That one was
The
2011,
original,
I think.
the first one.
Oh, I don't
Number
know.
one.
I could look it up. I have all of my computer right here.
I'm curious, where did the first Indiana Jones movie come out?
The very first Indiana Jones movie.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Blake would know this.
Is that Raiders? No. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
it was
it's Raiders. Yeah.
Raiders. I think that was in the early '90s or late '80s.
It was early
late 80s,
90s.
something. I'm gonna look.
I'm just curious if one is inspired by the other. There's a lot of similarities there. Has to be, right?
Sure.
Am I the only one that ever wondered this? There's a bad movie, Crystal Skull. I thought it was okay.
Oh, yeah,
The
1990.
storyline was like, why? You
that's-
just did this to make money.
Oh,
The
I
first,
didn't.
81.
What year?
81.
That's way before Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is 96.
So I wonder if Tomb Raider was inspired by Raiders. Or any of the other
Wait.
ones came out, because I imagine there was at least two others.
96? So
Yeah.
is the game based off the movie or the movie based off the game?
Why?
Because the first Tomb Raider games I ever saw was PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it'd have been 96 would have been about
Yeah,
accurate.
that's
In the early
accurate.
'90s, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, was I really
when
that
did the
young?
movie come out? Tomb
The
Raider movie had
was
come out.
after.
Yeah,
the movie was
early
after.
2000s or something, right?
Oh, I thought he said 96.
The game.
Oh,
game.
okay. Never mind.
And then we were talking about Raiders for 81. Which is Indiana Jones. I'm just curious if one inspired the other, and I feel like they did.
Yeah.
Well, then you get into what Drake or what was that game?
Uncharted.
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 Uncharted. Yeah.
That
that's what
is
it was.
actually going to be very interesting. I do.
Oh
think
yeah,
that
they're
will
making
be
a
very interesting
movie. I forgot about that. Do they
That
make the
might
movie
be
or are they
good.
making the movie?
No answer there.
Yeah, I was
sure.
like, well, nobody knows. I'm just gonna.
And, hold on.
I will.
Hey, you normally ask your friend.
Who? Oh yeah, I don't want to talk to her. I'm done. We're fighting.
I'm looking. You can still talk.
I will say my favorite book got turned into a terrible movie. It's not a video game, but
That's fine.
Ready Player One got
Uh,
absolutely
Oh,
I'm-
you want?
awful.
So there's another one that's like that. I don't know if you've ever read Ender's Game.
I wouldn't say. I can say Artemis Fowl because I know that's awful.
No, Ender's Game is a really good book. It's a really like makes you question things kind of book.
Mm-hmm.
The movie does not do any of that. The movie is just like, how can we make money off of this?
See, I never read the book, but I've seen the movie. But
Yeah, the
I
movie you're
totally-
missing so much on the movie, and
I
that's what kind
totally
of bugs.
can understand what you're saying. I totally can get that vibe from the movie, even though I didn't read the book.
Yeah, you feel like there's something missing here. Yeah,
I definitely can feel some void because it was just like the movie is just like, what's the big meaning of this whole entire movie? Like,
Yeah.
I know it's setting up for stuff, but it just felt so.
see, in the book, the whole thing is that these kids are trained, and there's like this whole like question of, is this right? Is this moral? And like in the movie, it's just like, yeah, we're just doing this. It's like, what the hell? I don't know. That really bugged me. That's one of the ones that's bugged me, as far as
It
somebody that
isn't-
likes to read and then.
All right, I researched. It's in
Mhm.
post-production right now, and it's expected to be out this year, July 16th.
That's near my birthday.
What
I
type
don't
of
care because I've never played the game.
Sorry, what movie is this?
Uncharted.
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 I forgot what video game's being turned into a movie. Metal Gear.
Mhm.
Are they doing a Metal Gear?
The guy from Star Wars, Poe.
Mhm.
You remember him, Ray? He's Solid Snake.
Oh, which was? Oh yeah, I remember Poe now. Okay, I had to think about who he was in the Star
The
Wars.
guy who trashed the movies after they came out. He's like, yeah, they sucked. He's like, they could have been way better. Yeah, that guy's playing Solid Snake. I can't. I actually think that's going to be a good movie because the director's been wanting to make this movie for years, and then the guy who played Poe wanted to, like, many years ago, was like, yeah, if they ever make a Metal Gear, I really want to become Solid Snake. And then the director had an artist mock up some artwork of what the actor would look like, and it turned out really well. And he's like, "Hero, the ball is in your court, but we'd like to have you." And then I guess like a year later, they got everything settled, and they're finally making the movie. It's not coming out this year, but it should be. Actually, let me see when it is coming out. But that is a game. That is a movie I'm very hyped for, and it happens.
I do
to,
think that sometimes the actor that plays the character can sometimes make or break a movie for sure.
Now I'm going to say something. I've never once played any Metal Gear games.
I think I played one, and then I was like, oh, that was neat, and then that was it. But that's just my personality. I just don't have that thing. Like I saw recently that Dune. This is not a game, but it's another book turned to movie. And the original Dune movie is terrible to me. People love it, but I'm like, this is terrible. But this movie, they came out first off. They used Pink Floyd in the advertisement, which was cool. But I think that they finally might have something. Feels like this is the era of maybe getting it right. I mean, I'm not gonna.
No, I don't.
Here we go. Here's
I don't
another
see
one.
it.
Thoughts on the Dune movie?
Just hello.
Dune.
Hello.
Did I just talk about Dune?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were
Okay.
talking about Dune. I didn't hear that.
Okay, I was thinking I was in alternate reality or
You
something for
kind
a
of sound
second.
like Doom.
I think it's
Doom,
a
Doom, the
Doom,
movie
that's
is
what
god
that's what I
awful.
was thinking. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
th-
Are they going
that's
to come
what I
out with a
thought you
new
said.
Doom?
Doom, like the Doom
Direction.
movie that they brought out with who was it?
The Rock.
Dwayne the Rock
Carl Urban and The
Johnson.
Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Stop pushing
That
me.
was terrible.
There was a
yeah.
new one. There was
I
a new
remember
one.
Frank
Listening to
one.
the Doom Twitter, they immediately said they had no association with that movie.
Wait, sorry, are we saying Dune like D-U-N-E?
Dune, like a sand dune. I can't say sand.
Yeah,
Right,
dude.
Okay, there's a 1984 and there's a 2021 coming up.
We're talking about the 2021
saying.
one.
The 2021 has
Right.
the potential to be good. It looks like it's going to be good. I'm just extremely skeptical because that is such a dense story.
Okay, that's why I was trying to figure out. I was trying to see because I kept
But
on getting
Doom, DOOM, that was horrendous.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The one with that's the one we're talking about with The Rock, right?
Okay, this is why are these movies named so similar?
Yeah. So what I said was accurate still. Again, I thought we were still talking about the other Dune with the U.
And even the original Dune, Dune, like a saying Dune, is considered not a terrible movie, I don't think. But it's just they think that this one could be better. Dune fans do, I think. Like,
Again,
correct me.
like just the story of Dune is just so dense. It really needs like that. The one book that they're going to be basing it off could really be broken up into at least a trilogy of movies.
Yeah, the Ender's Game is similar. Like I, Robot. Have you ever read the book I, Robot?
No.
No.
I didn't know there was a book.
Yep, it's Robert Heinlein, or it's either Asimov or Heinlein, and it's completely different than the movie. Is like somebody took the book and like read the top cover and went, "Yeah, I can do that," and then did something completely different.
That's a good title.
Well, that's every Marvel.
Marvel still has some traces of the comic book in it. This had nothing. It was like, yeah, I like that idea, but I'm just going to take it and turn it a different way. I Am Legend. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hating on Will
idea.
Smith.
Yeah.
But that book was completely different than the movie.
I'm back.
It was more about him surviving than like I don't know. There was no zombies first off, or whatever the hell he was fighting. So
Vampire zombies.
Yeah.
So did my thing I said actually go through before my internet died?
What was the last thing you
So-
said?
The fact that I've never played Metal Gear because it looks horribly boring.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
you
Yes,
said
that
that,
came
yeah.
through loud and clear.
Thanks for reminding us.
And
Sorry,
we-
I'm a Kojima fan, so I just
Oh,
like, just
that's the only
subconsciously
game I don't
looked
like
up.
about him. That's the only game I don't like. I've
Really?
like every other one. I just don't like that one.
Huh.
Death Stranding. Did you find that interesting?
Yes, I love it. I play it a lot.
Love it. I played it with my dad. I love that game.
That's a game that seems like it has an interesting story from every I've seen.
It's a pretty interesting story, but when you finally finish the game, be prepared to bring a snack and have nothing
Yeah.
to eat for like 3 hours. Because the ending is like
It's a
takes
movie.
forever. Takes forever. Like the last gameplay sequence, like from last gameplay sequence to end of the credits was like at least 2 hours. Like I kid you not. But speaking of games and how long it takes, one big issue Abe has brought up to our attention is the Nintendo controllers, the Joy-Cons. There we go, Joy-Con drip,
Yep.
and how how bad over time it wails down. So Abe, go ahead. I
It's
know you
not.
have
It's
strong
not. It goes bad over time. So, if anyone has a Switch, they know that for the Joy-Con, there has been reports, or at least feelings, that sometimes when you're playing a game like this, I first noticed this when I played Animal Crossing. Apparently, your character would just start moving around without you even touching the thing. So, I looked up online and I saw some ways to fix it. And the common methods of just resyncing your controller, and apparently, yes, Nintendo. I also looked up. Nintendo acknowledges it, and they said they're not going to do anything about it, and that just straight up like pissed me off and everyone because like, so you know the problem that exists, and you're just going to be like, fuck it, you just have to buy a new controller. Which I'm not saying I've never bought a new controller. I have an Xbox, and I've bought controllers before because I've obviously worn them down. But the fact that they're like so expensive as well, and the fact that there's a alternate controller that's not a Joy-Con that that hasn't broken down for me makes me think, what exactly is the mindset for them that they're doing this? Not only that, but we were talking. I was also trying to expand the fact that there's also the idea of custom controllers. Has anyone ever used or seen a website for a custom controller?
Not for the Switch, but I have it for other.
For like, yeah, for like Xbox or I think.
Yeah,
I have it
PlayStation.
for the PlayStation 2. I have one next to me that is. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. It's one that's so small I can't hold. It's the size of my palm.
To say all the ones I got from that era, or Mad Cats, and Mad Cats
Yep.
were ridiculously big. in my opinion. They were much bigger than PlayStation
Oh, the
controllers.
Mad Catz controllers were absolutely massive.
Oh, hang
Mhm.
on, hang
They're
on.
big, bulky, and awful, but nostalgic. I still have mine.
So
When I had a PlayStation 3, I had a Medal of Honor controller that I bought that was some kind of off brand. And
Oh,
right
speaking
now,
of-
I'm using a Steel Series that can be used with the PlayStation or computer. And it's a clone of the Xbox controller, except for the joysticks are both side by side in the bottom. And that's
No.
because for years I've played on PlayStation, so I have a hand feel where I like my joysticks on the bottom. It took me forever to find a controller that would work with my computer and it was halfway decent that had joysticks on the bottom that weren't a duplicate, exact clone of the Xbox.
I just got used to having my hands in different ways because I have Xbox that I use for my PC, and then I have it my PlayStation, and so I've just kind of got used to it. I don't think it really bothers me too much.
Please
But,
ignore if you hear any sound from my mic. I'm trying to find that controller. Oh, I'm just
That's
gonna
a
mute
noise.
myself.
It's like,
That
like
was the
somebody
noise.
played that off of a soundboard.
That was the noise of me crouching down and realizing I need to lose weight.
I do.
like you got hurt.
Nope.
I do want to say how I think Nintendo's handling joysticks. I think you're going much like the Apple route of things. Of they all like trying to sell themselves as like the premier family console, while they're trying to make Nintendo come like huge brand and be like, well, we have this device. We know you're going to pay for this device. So
But
we
hadn't they been doing
kind
that
of,
since the Wii?
yeah,
Yes,
but I
they
think they're
have.
really going on with especially with the Joy-Con
Yeah.
because they're like they have like this whole right of it's like how Apple has like the right of repair or like
Mm-hmm.
the Apple stores won't repair it. They all go through all that stuff. Well, Nintendo's kind of doing the same thing of like
That's also in the news.
they
Right to
they
repair
don't
is coming up.
yeah they don't they have their own thing and they're like, oh yeah, well, we don't care, you can just buy another one from us because we know you have the money. So stuff like that. It's just like most of their target demographic ideally, like, because it's not like their target demographic for games and stuff is like kids, most Nintendo games,
Mm-hmm.
but they know that the parents are the ones buying this for the most part for them, and then adults that have money, so they know they can get the adults to buy. They know the adults will probably buy it because the child is going to complain constantly, like my controller doesn't work, it's drifting. So they know they can easily make that. Now, an
Well,
ideal situation is not they obviously they didn't make the controller do that, but they knew about the issue, but they just purposely said, "Nah, we're not going to try to fix this that much or even have the refunds and stuff like that. They said just go buy it."
Yeah, that's
so when you say the Apple route, do you mean that where the hell else are you going to go? Because that's what it feels
Yeah,
like Apple says, basically.
because
What are you going to do?
They're so unique that they're like, well, you can be with us, or you could go to Sony and Xbox and have to buy a whole new one, or you can stay with us and just have to get
And see, you can't
smaller.
really go to Sony or Xbox. Not for that kind of stuff. Nintendo has made themselves a little niche in the market that can't be really competed with as far as the other ones.
because they'll be more family in
The
quotes,
mobile
family friendly.
aspect, the family aspect,
Mhm.
all of that cannot be competed. Now their graphics and all that can be beat, but they've intentionally
not-
separated themselves away from all that.
Well, that's not the target demographic. They're not going
Yeah.
after the people that are looking for the new Sony exclusives and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They're
they're-
going for people that want that either get games that are like 1 or 2 years later they come out that are for mobile, which is unique, but they're mostly going after the family friendly like Mario.
I think
Zelda.
you're dead on right. I think that they have carved themselves this unique niche, and they're like, "What are you gonna do? Go somewhere else? Good luck."
Well, just take for example that like one of the biggest games is Smash Bros. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's literally nowhere else they can go get a truly authentic Smash Bros. Now, they'll all some PC games that can give you the same platform fight or feel, but it's not Smash Bros. It's not Mario doing that. It ain't your favorite rep from a game.
Isn't this the same Nintendo that's notorious for like cracking down on people too?
Yep.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Mhm.
So that's why they're doing
Only
it.
since
They want
the
to stop
original
people.
creator died, though.
You mean Miyamoto?
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, but since I just think it's just the whole for the past few years they've really been doing more and more of
What the-
this.
It's a
But-
mad cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
that
how
is
small it
mad.
is. I
I've never
can't
seen-
I
I've
can't
never
use
seen
that in
one
my
that
hand.
small. Yeah, I've never seen that one small.
All mad cats I've ever seen are puny. I've never seen a big one.
You're
They're
also
all
a
small.
very don't take this the wrong way. You're a very large man.
Oh yes, I am. I truly am.
I do like his flex of putting $20 bills on his desk.
Oh yeah, they are. I didn't even notice that. I
Yeah,
like it that the
and-
AirPods are
and-
there for
and
size
the AirPods.
comparison.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
AirPods too. He's really, really flexing on us with this.
Oh, is that your Apple Watch on your wrist there?
Yes, it is.
Listen, Mr. Apple Shill.
It just needs that drip, and it's good to go.
Mhm.
The what?
Drip.
Drip.
Did you know the drip meme?
No.
It's just a really just overstuffed jacket that has some text on it
I-
and the word
I got
for
it.
your shirt.
I got it.
Oh,
I'm sure already.
I know what I can also do. This would be just for you guys.
You get gold teeth. What?
No. And there
Showing it.
is my Mac.
Yeah, he's an Apple Shill.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also why Nintendo can do this too, is because people that are like, again, the Apple route of you have so many devout people that are like, yeah, I would buy anything Nintendo puts out. It's like, as two is hopefully demonstrating for us, he has the Apple Watch, he has AirPods, he has a Mac entirely just sitting off and like on a whole
I
entire
don't.
desk.
I don't use that.
Mhm.
Actually, the only time I've used this recently was when I was trying to do the drawing. It's been sitting in the box for it, which, don't get nauseous, is right there.
Um,
I, don't know
I
if
can't
anyone-
say much of anything. I have a Samsung phone. I have Samsung Watch and a Samsung
Well,
EarPods.
I don't think that is that truly
Same.
okay. Do you buy that because of Samsung, or do you buy it because it's just a good product that they happen to offer?
I buy it because I don't like Apple,
Mhm.
Same.
and it's the best Droid-based system out
Then
there right now.
Then I think you're buying it more because it's a good product and not because you're doing it specifically for Samsung.
What
That's
No.
not
phone?
And they just work better together,
as
to
well.
be honest.
As more
phone do
Apple
you have?
people.
And I also am not actually an-
S10. I wanna
Oh,
say.
okay. I
It's a
got
couple. It's almost a couple years old at this point.
Yeah, I got the S20.
And I'm not actually an Apple show because only reason I got this is my parents got it for me.
So your parents are the shills in the
It
family.
tends to be that way, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So
And I had Android phones before, and I just don't like them.
Hmm.
I really don't like them.
Ever since Google bought Android, I feel like Android's gotten a little better.
All my mom, dad, and my grandma have Apple phones, and I'm the only one that has Samsung.
I'm
Yeah.
going to absolutely destroy you all.
You have a flip
Mhm.
phone.
You have Windows Phone.
No. I have
Windows
the
Phone.
last 6 phones that I have had have been Samsung Notes.
Mhm.
I currently have a Samsung refrigerator. I have a Samsung
Is
television.
that your
I have a
phone? You
Samsung
carry your refrigerator
soundbar.
with you?
I have a Samsung smartwatch.
Yeah, here's the Samsung shield right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Mhm.
I just have
I
a
think-
phone. I don't have all these extra
I
shit.
think my washing machine and my TV are both the same brand, if I'm honest. My washing
Means
machine
you
and
got
dryer.
Samsung Hub. Also, then.
So, the reason I have a Samsung refrigerator is because it was on sale and it was the one that sort of fit in with where I was actually putting stuff.
Yeah, I don't ever look for brand refrigerators, honestly.
The Samsung TV and soundbar were a package deal. And I like Samsung TVs. That's about the only real reason that I actually have a Samsung TV ahead of a Sony or a LG or whatever they want to actually go on it with.
I mean, Blake, we already know you can buy anything you want to at this point. You could practically buy a Samsung, train and bring it to work. We already know
No,
that you have affluent wealth because you're elite in magic skills. So we already know that you can do whatever you want. Just be honest. You like Samsung, right?
No, he pays to win.
I have to admit, Sony, I don't know if it's still the truth. I bought a Sony LCD. Yeah. When LEDs were just coming out. I think about that. Back in 2007. And do you know that TV is sitting in my bedroom right now and works just fine. Never had a problem with it. It is one of like I've known people that have gone through TV since then, and I don't know what Sony was doing at the time. It was the Sony Bravia or whatever back in that era. And I'm like, I don't know what they've done. And then I had a grandfather. My grandfather had a rear projection Sony TV, one of those giant ones that weighed like 1,000,000 pounds. I know this because we
Yep.
had to carry it up the stairs. But that thing, when he got rid of it, it still worked. It still ran just fine.
So my grandpa had one also, but the sound went out on it.
But the screen worked just fine, right?
Yeah, screen worked just fine.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird when you were looking at it at an angle, but yeah, that's just how the TV was made, though.
Yeah, it's just so weird. I was like, how have they done this where this has worked in the last... Now, I have to admit, the one that one used to be mounted for a long time, and now you can't mount it anymore because like the little threaded inserts in there have fallen into the TV. But that's it.
You probably fix that too.
Yeah, I just pull off the back, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Well, I think we have just enough time for the last topic we have. So if you guys want to jump into that one, I don't
Sure.
know how excited you guys are for 2021 with the great first week we've had. But does anyone have any special goals that they have in mind? Not saying the New Year's resolution, but any specific like I want to achieve this, or I want to be able to do this.
To lose weight.
Lose weight? Yeah, I'm there with you too.
I doubt it's
Yeah,
as
me
bad
too.
as me. I'm gonna try to get at least around 200. I'm at 350.
I know. No, I am. I'm there with you too. I'm more. One of the biggest things for me was I wanted to learn how to cook, to eat better food, and then I was trying to work out like after an hour after I woke up, but a lot of that was just like I'm either too tired, I slept in, and I just missed it. Within the past few weeks, I've been working for my mom ever so often, and I think I'm gonna do more work. So it's just like now I gotta find time to work out now. So at
So,
least I want to limit my food intake. That's the biggest thing.
so last year, not 2020, 2019. Start of that year, I had to think to lose weight, so I joined an Orange Theory gym, it was expensive, but it's like a class-based gym, and I started going Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And the best thing I found about doing that, I did it for a year when Corona started. I was like, I'm just gonna stop going, and I've put on weight and all that, and I've got to go back. But the best thing I found for that, for me, and probably for you, is I used to in the Navy. We worked out every 3 days a week in the morning. And I hated every minute of it.
Just
Waking up and
3
going to work out
days?
immediately. Yeah, well, we're not in the army. We don't need to like be like you. We don't have to be grunts.
They made us get up every morning, bastards.
Well, this is when we were in an active duty station. So when most mornings we'd go up and go to work.
We'd
But
go to
3
work
mornings. But
afterwards.
anyway, what I've realized is, and this is what I'll tell you, is make a schedule, stick to it, and you're probably going to want to work out in the afternoons, just because. I'll like when I would work out twice a week to 3 times a week, I would eat less when I got home. Like you need to eat, but like after you work out, you're like, I don't need to eat that much, so you'll eat less. Like you eat salads is what I generally ate. You know, I don't know how you feel about salads, but like you don't want anything heavy or anything like that.
Well, I do eat salads, but usually I have to have a meat in anything I eat.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I usually did too. Like chicken is generally like the grilled chicken I usually toss in there. But it helped a lot when I learned all that. Now, coronavirus has ruined a lot of that for me, if I'm honest. It's like some of that is gone. I'd actually got to the point where I had lost enough weight that I was starting to gain it back from muscle because I was lifting heavier and heavier weights and doing that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I want to go back to that, but I'd like to start working out slowly again. I've got weights here and all that stuff.
So it's something that I wish the army would have realized. Working out in the morning, if you're just waking up, you don't feel as energized, or I guess you're still kind of groggy from waking up.
Yeah.
And you don't work out as hard. You do it in the afternoon, you're awake, you usually have food in your stomach, which, depending on how much.
Boy, you sleep so good that night when you work out like that.
Here's 2 issues with that. Is one, I wake up at like 2 o'clock, like p.m.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then when I do go to bed, it's like 6 a.m.
yeah,
Do you
but
want to know the old man's answer to that?
Wake up, Leo. I can't. I'm very light sensitive, so if I really hate waking up and like bright light.
Solution to that is what I have, blackout curtains.
I've asked many times for blackout cones, and I've been
Buy them.
Trace,
I
give me
don't
your
have
address. I'll help you out.
But I also like if I were to leave and go outside, it would also like poke my eyes
Why
Well,
would you be
here's the-
leaving?
Here's the thing.
because
What you
I
do, and this is what we used to
in the
do,
house.
wait until night hits. About
I'm-
5, 6 o'clock.
well, okay, 5, 6 is when I used to have to make food for my family. So then after I eat, and I was getting to the issue too is when I walk out and stuff, my stomach gets upset. I get very bad stomach, so I can't eat right before I do that.
No.
I get
But
the same
that's
way.
The problem. The problem is that when I was doing it, it was fine because I would wake up, eat breakfast, wait a little bit, use the restroom, and then go out. But ideally I'd like to do it after dinner, but then I would have to like eat, wait an hour, and that's killing time of an hour. And then by then it's typically when I like to do stuff like playing games and stuff. So then I would have to wait, and then by that time it would be like 8 o'clock at night.
You just
Yeah.
gotta find time and stick it in there. In
Yeah,
a
no,
modern era, you can make
Yeah,
there like 24-hour gyms and all that kind of stuff. You can
Yeah,
make time.
That's what I want. That's what I want. But
I'll put
again,
it this way: what I'm doing for
Right.
workout is Beat Saber. I do that at I think it's like 2 or 3 in the morning.
I haven't set up my VR yet. I don't.
Oh
have
my
space
god, I'll tell you
anymore.
right now. Speaking of that, you reminded me. Pistol Whipped.
What game? Oh yeah, that's a VR game. That's
Yeah.
a good game.
That game, I was like, this is a fun game. My legs were sore by the time I was done with it because there's a fair bit of crouching and dodging if you get into it. And I was like, hey, this is actually not bad as far as like working out. So there is ways around it.
I actually ordered a meal prep today.
Nice.
What company?
It's actually a local place. I get pick it up.
No, that's good.
Oh, nice.
I
Probably
pick
gonna be
it up
better than if you can
Monday,
get it local.
So
and it equaled out to $6.50 a meal.
That's not bad at all.
that's pretty much what I will doing with my dad's discount. But speaking of meal prep, the last few weeks mine's been late. Like this week, we only got half of it.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
were
a
saying.
split. It's a split order between me and my aunt's family because we're getting 3 and they're getting 3, but they're going through us so they get their discount. But when we got it this week, we got 2 of all meals and 1 of home meals in the package. So it's like, well, they only get 1, we get our 2, but by Wednesday when we're supposed to have a third one, we didn't get it. But we got it today. So my mom's thinking of just keeping it, making sure it's all good, and then maybe trying to do it this weekend. But then I wouldn't cook it; she'll cook it. But we just have to make sure it's right. It's okay because it's been out for like a week now, delivery. But it's funny because all the we're getting it like the factory is the one that my dad's working at, which is in the same city. but it took a week to get here, so
Who are they using to
That's the other
ship it?
thing.
FedEx.
No.
I do quite a bit. I actually enjoy cooking. I cook quite a bit. Like I made that standing rib roast. I like trying new things. I also like baking, but I don't do that very much because I like baking, but I don't like cakes. So I like to bake a cake, but I don't want to like eat it. I know it's weird.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks. Now you got the freaking song stuck in my head.
Make a pretty cake. Yeah, that's what I say. I sing that song the whole time I'm doing it.
Do you
and yes,
really?
the meme song with the little jump. Sorry. But cooking's not as hard as, and I think probably Trace is probably realizing as he's cooking more. It's not really that difficult.
It's fun. It's
fun. Yeah.
The most difficult part for me is not even the cooking; it's having my grandmother trying to help me, and she's like, "Okay, I'll help you." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then it's past, but okay, can you get this ready? And then she's off like fixing the blinds while I have like a scalding like pan that needs to be going somewhere, and she hasn't prepped something for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I've realized as I cook more and more is they call it mise en place is very important. Having everything lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, I have to get
Build
better
one.
with me. I have to
Yeah.
get better with that just so less I have to rely on. Like
Yeah.
I love that she's helping me, but it's
Mhm.
just like I almost would rather her not. Because sometimes also like I'm moving around, I'm trying to use the sink. She has this whole thing where she likes to wash the dishes while making it.
Yeah.
So
I
like
hate that. I can't. Yeah, I can't deal with
when I
that.
need to clean my hands, she's like in the way washing a pan that just came out of being used.
Oh, don't get me started. That's the worst thing. I yelled at my sister a couple months ago. We were just doing a simple meal, hot dogs, boiled water,
Mhm.
simple.
Yeah.
She comes
You
in
don't
and
grill
cleans the
your hot dogs?
microwave.
Whoa, wait.
Oh, another big thing I have is the microwave's right in front of the stove.
Like on top of
And
it, like
yes,
above the stove.
up
Yeah, that's how
top
mine
of it.
is. Yeah.
And when I'm cooking it, and my mom when my mom comes in, because when we make food, like when I make the meal plans, when my dad's eating with us, we have to make like another side because he wants to eat a lot, and it's portions he doesn't care about them because whatever. And so she's like throwing in something in the microwave. She opens it and it hits me in the head because I'm taller and everyone else is smaller than the microwave, like shorter than how high it is. And it's like right in front of it while I'm cooking like the main thing. So I don't like our kitchen. I hate our kitchen. I wish it was designed better. But again, it wasn't made for someone of my size. It was
Yeah.
made for smaller.
So we're just boiling water, chill your cheese dogs, quick, simple, She comes in and cleans the microwave, has the latex wipes out, or whatever they're called.
Lysol?
Clorox wipes,
Mm-hmm.
and drops it right in the hot dog water.
Yummy.
The wipe?
Yes.
The Clorox that's full of bleach.
Yep.
Bleach water. By the way, my dad lived in Taiwan when he was younger, and they used to add bleach to their water to make it safe to drink.
Yeah. But there's
And
also
they would
other.
they'd wash their fruit in bleach and stuff too, like a bleach water solution, not like straight bleach.
Yeah, if you dilute it, it's not as. It won't
Yeah.
kill you.
Most
But.
city water has chlorine in it anyway.
Yeah, I know. But there's also other chemicals in those wipes.
Yeah. Oh God,
It's
God knows what's in those wipes.
Yeah. Especially
What doesn't
now,
kill you
because
makes you
they're.
stronger. Yes, we ate the hot dogs.
Well, I guess if
I don't
you're
know how much
boiling
it would go into the hot dog in that short amount of time either.
No, it was quick. I was in the kitchen right when she did it.
Well, that, and if you're boiling it, it might be burning it off too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also one to come in there and try to clean, like pick up stuff. So I'm here, I'm here doing pigs in a blanket, something simple, hot dogs rolled up in croissants, cheese, and then we also had English muffins, and just cut up, hot dogs, put onions on top, and then broil them. Well, I'm here looking for the damn English muffins. She put them up.
Or dare she?
All right, the bot just disconnected.
About to do we need the bot?
I'm still recording.
Same.
Hold on, just take me a second, then we can end it.
Also, Ray, what do you see right now?
A giant spinning blade right in front of my face.
Okay. I was just trying to do that from first person, so I was just trying to see if I could get in your face. And I did.
Grim, this field is giving me the shit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that.
Now recording.
He said it again! Yay!
All right.
So
Well, I guess we are back now. The bot is back in our chat. I was actually gonna. I know we're talking about Clorox hot dogs.
Clorox hot dogs.
But I was gonna see if anyone Will we still talk? Like, were you still going alone about that? I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't know if you had anything to finish. I just want to know.
About the meal prep.
Yeah,
this meal prep is not like a full family. This is just 15 individual meals, already basically cooked. You just warm them up.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's, it's kind of like calorie counting a little bit because this place is like super fresh stuff.
Right.
I even had them for lunch. I had a black and blue chicken salad.
Ooh.
yummy.
I was gonna say, does anyone else have any goals other than weight or food? Or
So
This is gonna sound very, very it's probably not in the best taste, but my goal is to have at least 10 to 15% of a house deposit by the end of the year.
That's a good goal.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's actually not that
It's
particular,
better
but
than me. I moved into my house out of spite because the people I was renting from were assholes. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a house, and that's what I did.
The people you were
I'll show
reading
you.
from.
Renting.
I heard reading.
Yeah, no, it was people I work with, and that was the biggest mistake I've ever made.
Gross.
But yeah, if it wasn't for the VA, I wouldn't have probably been able to buy a house. But
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I'm buying a house later this year through the VA.
Well, now
Time.
that you're an engaged man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing.
Go bring that up.
That's another thing I'll be doing. Because she's also gonna be on the loan, so I have to get officially married.
Wait, James, how long have you been engaged?
It's Saturday.
He put it in a certain chat.
Yeah, I think I put it in. It always
Grim's
says
meme.
no. Oh, was it?
General.
put it?
Yes.
Which there's so many.
It's a meme.
He put it in Factorio.
I don't have access to Factorio anymore.
Wait. Factorio.
You gotta add yourself in the roles.
So when I load it up, all I see is general on the very top. I'm not looking at the what
Factorio
channel.
is in the roles.
You mean Satisfactory?
Yeah, it's Satisfactory /
Satisfactory with the S.
So I thought I was
Everybody
talking in the
just
top
clicked.
general.
All of us just did it.
Yeah.
You have a habit of just
Alright,
posting
well.
stuff in the wrong
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. Well,
That's why we gave him his own channel.
congrats, Grim. It's a little late now.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
one would have ever known
Yeah, I literally
until we
wouldn't
played
have no idea.
Satisfactory Factorio again.
Well, some of us are playing
Or-
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
You have to play
Yeah.
Satisfactory. I was thinking when I said that I was more implying Factorio, but yeah, I didn't know why are these merged? Just because they're
Because
on
we
the
wasn't
same
using Factorio.
I have a weird goal.
Mhm.
Recently, the only time I play games recently feels like is when I'm playing in a group. I have a goal to try and find some more single player games that I enjoy playing on my own.
Oh, we're gonna miss you.
Well, I have a recommendation.
No, I'll
Ray.
still play with you guys, but I need
Well-
other nights.
Ray, do you like serious games or do you like goofy, funny
You
games?
played Gmod with me. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I'm saying, have you played Yakuza?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
I recommend.
What?
recommend
How do you
Yakuza.
spell that thing?
YAKUZA, I think.
Yes. I will highly recommend Yakuza Like a Dragon to you, Ray, if you want a really good single player game.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the gameplay is OPG, where you have your characters who can attack and stuff like that. But it's a Yakuza setting, so it's like your guys swinging a baseball bat instead of being a knight. And then those.
I hate to tell you, do you know what my least favorite type of game is?
RPG.
That would be it.
Okay, well, I'm just as a recommendation, but
Yeah,
those also
I can't. The
this-
RPGs I can't get into.
right. I'm just saying that, but the story of it is because I almost feel like there's more cutscenes than even gameplay sometimes. But
So-
the character and lore and everything is just amazing.
Here's the scary part for me. As I get older, and I'm going to say that, I feel like my edge. I used to love FPS games like Medal of Honor and all those kind of stuff. But I think I've lost my edge along the way somewhere. So I don't like those as much because I just get my ass kicked constantly. So that's no fun. So I almost think I like. Good has a tendency to play story driven games that doesn't require. They require knowing your controller, which he doesn't. But beyond that,
Okay.
beyond that, I think I like those style of games.
Have you played Red Dead yet?
I played the original Red Dead when it came out on PlayStation.
I highly recommend Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Okay,
It's like,
did you play the actual original one?
I think so.
Red Dead Revolver?
When did that come out?
What?
Red Dead Revolver was PlayStation 2, I think.
Uh-huh, and it was the worst game ever.
I might have played it. I can't remember.
Opinions. Remember.
Well, okay, we're not gonna talk about that. We're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
That's my that's another that's another recommendation. I can give.
Yeah,
If
because
you
I
like-
enjoyed Grand Theft Auto to a certain extent, and Red
If-
Dead is like Grand Theft Auto with more story and more. things.
But if you want a story game that in those a lot of side stuff you can do, and then also just interacting,
Just
with,
fuck
you know,
around. Yeah.
it's great. It is truly probably top 3, if not like top 2 game. It's great.
I shouldn't play Cyberpunk. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, Cyberpunk
I
is
would
fine,
say
as
if
long as you don't mind
want,
the bugs.
if you want
Yeah.
an open world game, I'd say Red Dead's probably better than Cyberpunk.
I think I'll play Red Dead until Cyberpunk can figure out their bugs, and then I might come to it when it's cheaper later.
There you go.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, what's this?
What other you say story?
That's what I like something in what was the Become Human and all that. Even though
Detroit-
dude is a
Detroit Become
horrible, heartless person as far as when it comes to robots, I enjoy that storyline. That was very interesting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
he's-
Detroit Become Human's good, but if you already watched his gameplay, then you already know what it is.
No, but I want to see what the next one, whatever the next game they came out within that kind of line, I want to play it before I watch him do it.
those another few games that are like that. Though it's there's a trilogy of it.
Yeah,
But
and he played the other ones, but I intentionally did not watch
The
those.
one with
so.
the one
Shot?
and the one in the cabin up in the woods.
I know this one.
Let me go search about it. But
Who
it's-
makes those games?
are you talking about
Who is
the Firewatch one or whatever?
Telltale, are we? Firewatch?
No. I don't want to say a specific thing.
Does this sound familiar?
Until Dawn.
Oh, right, that game.
Okay.
I didn't want to specifically type something about this game, but if you want a story game that is just a story, you hit a few buttons to determine choices, some quick time events, stuff like that. That's a game up your alley. But it's slightly horror based, but there's also a trilogy about it. The second one is about a ship out in the middle of an ocean. That's that like you'll main characters find. And there's a third one which I haven't seen yet, but it's a trilogy of games, but they're not related to each other, but same people. But if you're looking for that, that's what I highly recommend. But does anyone else have any big goals?
Any bagels?
Any big
Big goals.
Big goal.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. That
Oh,
makes
was
more
good.
sense.
Bagels here.
I guess.
Speaking of that, I am pretty hungry.
Same.
Yeah,
That's
I
funny
guess
why I
if-
heard bagel.
If anyone doesn't have any big goals, and if Blake wants to go eat, I think this is
A
a good
bagel.
time to wrap it here.
I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna sit here and do other things.
All right, well, fine. But I do think we should wrap it up here, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
If anyone says any last little minute thing they want to say, otherwise, hold
Can I
your
move
peace.
to Australia?
Why?
They're going on lockdown, remember?
Yeah.
That's
you're
still
not-
probably better at this point.
Yeah, but if they're going on lockdown, they're definitely not going to let you in now.
Blake can sneak me in.
Yeah, it just poses
Like,
a
it becomes a
Just drive the
strange
train
deal- or what
over
is
and
it?
pick Ray up, and then drive the train back.
I
Yeah.
said that
You
wrong. I
smuggling?
definitely said that wrong.
no. So you just become you just get into a
Smuggler.
Samsung fridge box.
Yeah.
And Blake will just order another fridge, and you
Yeah.
just come through that.
There's no way Australia checks that shit for people, right?
Nah, that's fine. Just dispense water whenever they ask for water. And you'll be
Boy,
fine.
drink a lot of water. Why is this water
Why-
yellow?
What's got to do that?
Well, okay, now I'm gonna wrap it before we get anything worse. But thank you, anyone. This is our first episode of the Sons of Bananas podcast. We'll currently stream this on Twitch at twitch.tv/GrimReaperLP and twitch.tv Lone Wolf ENT. We'll also have a YouTube. This will be on YouTube, right? Anything else? Or
Isn't Lone's name have an underscore in it?
It does.
Between
Yes.
Wolf and
There's a few of them there.
Lone_Wolf_ENT. There you go. Well, we'll have all the links below. So it should be on YouTube, maybe Spotify. Yes, no.
Yeah, I still got to look into it, but yes.
Okay. Yes,
Sorry, new job.
yes, eventually. But we'll have all the links to all the streams. Again, everyone who's streaming it is currently streaming again Farming Simulator in 2019 while we're playing. But mainly, yeah, if you're just listening to this on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere else, you're just hearing the audio version of this. So, well, that's going to
Comment and
be it for
subscribe.
us. Yeah, comment, and subscribe
like,
to the podcast.
comment, and subscribe.
Exactly.
That's what they all say.
But thank you for watching. This is
Don't forget to hit
episode
that
1.
bell icon.
Yep.
Yeah, so now we gotta clip that and play that in post now. That's the official post we gotta do now.
Yeah.
But that is it from us. So thank you again for coming along. This is episode 1, and we hope to make these every single week and until Falling Single 2020 comes out. Well, the
Somebody kills
on
us.
file.
Maybe 2022.
Yeah, they go every other year.
Oh,
And
they do
s-
every other
and
year.
and they're skipping this year because of COVID.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, whatever. But so it looks like we'll be playing this game for a while then.
Yep.
But
And because the next one that comes out is going to be on consoles only. That's how they do it. Every other year, it goes PC console, PC console, PC console.
So we got like
Alright,
4 years
well,
of this. It's like a
all right,
freaking
fine.
presidential
We're
term.
gonna be playing this until we all die. All right, goodbye,
There you go.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.